Hey there, folks. Welcome on back to the RLCS Midwest Minute. Got a little bit of a different setup here for you, but dead middle of winter, you don't really get good spots outside, It's a little bit crappy out there right now, but once it gets a little bit better, a little bit more snowy and actually good looking, we'll head back out there. But for now, we're just stuck inside, and we got a lot of off-season events that happened here, and the last one's just finished up a couple days ago. So let's get these headlines moving real quick once. So we'll be going in chronological order of when things happened and when they finished up there. So the first thing that happened was the Bluegrass Boost Battle. Now I had the pleasure of casting that event, but the winner was Akron Blue, who was Patty Bullseye in 5-up. 5-up was on Moist this past at least Major 2, and then Patty and Bullseye are actually teaming with No Mansion under the name Belly Bean Boys as of right now. And in second place for that was Illinois State, which is No Mansion, who I just mentioned, CG, and Cosmic, who is on 0 to 1. And then moving on right along was the CRL Grand Finals. We had 4 CRL events ending in the final Grand Finals, which was won by Concord, which is Simas, Crispy, and Helix. Now Simas and Crispy over from EU. They came over and they are getting their degrees and playing some Rocket League. So, I mean, all the better for them. They're getting paid to get an education. I can't blame them. And then it's Northwood Blue who came in second, which is Hockey's and Yale and Creams. I'm sure you guys are familiar with those names. Northwood Blue was basically the top team in CRL for a long time, but now they're finally getting a lot more competition here. So let's just keep these headlines moving. Then it was the 1v1 off-season tournament. Now let's go. I'll break this down by each region. The winner of the NA was Wavy, who is now on Deleted XD, just signed a couple days ago. And in second place, the runner-up Azap or Azapatos, or he has a lot of different nicknames for his name there, but he has yet to sign to a team though. And EU in first place was Moxie. He is also not on a team currently. And in second place, the runner-up Temple, who is currently signed to Wild, but we might see that change as of this recording. These are what the rosters are like. We're not 100% sure of what they will actually be until the RLCS officially starts, so there may still be some changes after this video comes out. But then moving right along to the SAM region, it was won by Diaz, who is currently on Complexity, and the runner-up for that was Swift, currently unsigned. And SSA was Snowy, who was on Limitless, where the runner-up was his fellow Limitless teammate Sweaty, so Limitless staying at the top in 1v1s at least. We'll get to the 3v3 open a little bit later. In APAC, it was won by Sphinx, who is actually now signed with Luminosity. And the runner-up for that was Blue, who is on a team called Chama. And if I'm also mispronouncing any of these, feel free to blast me in the comments down below. I don't know how to pronounce some of these, so let's just keep things moving. In OCE, the 1v1 Open was won by Caleb, who is currently on Kib Gang. And then Super Lucky was the runner-up, who I believe New Jeans is going to be signed by Wildcard. Again, correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure Wildcard is signing that roster. So, and then over in MENA, the winner was Ghazi, and the runner-up was Nush, who is currently on Vision Esports. Previously of Team ROC from the last split in the 2024 season. So good to see him still competing at the top. And yeah, then moving along to the Apex, which was a LAN event run by Lethamir and Lawler. So those two were running this event, and it was more supposed to be like a Beyond the Summit kind of event, like one of those more fun ones. And that was won by Musty Pits. That was the team name. It was a whole bunch of fun team names, and yeah, a bunch of creators and pros were over there. That was the team of 5-up, Wavy, and Musty. So Musty's still he's pretty good. So moving right along here, next we had the FIFA Esports World Cup. The winner was Saudi Arabia. They finally got their LAN win in their own country. It was the team of Turk, Rawas, and Kalirs. which is, as you know, is the Team Falcons roster. So they got to win in their home turf because the Esports World Cup was the FIFA Esports World Cup, at least, was held in Saudi Arabia, along with, I guess, the regular Esports World Cup. It's semantics, but let's just. And then second place was the French roster, which is Zen, Vatira, and Monkey Moon. Now it's basically Vitality, but they had Vatira instead of Exotic. But yeah. Moving right along, we had Salt Mine 4, which is a big 1v1 tournament. The NA Salt Mine, at least, it was won by Diaz. Again, he won another 1v1 tournament. So this time it was in the NA because Complexity are moving over to NA and getting their reps there. And second place was Evil, who also signed to that deleted XD roster along with Wavy. So there you go. Then we had the RLO Grand Slam, which is a OCE tournament. And that was won by New Jeans, which is Amphis, Super Lucky, and Kaka, which, again, I believe is signed by Wildcard as of the recording of this video, but I'm not sure. And then in second place was Mystery Van, which was Hunter, Fiber, and Banana Head. OCE is going to be a very competitive region next season, so we'll see who comes out on top between those top 4-5 teams, I want to say, are competing for 2 spots, so we'll see how that goes. And then next up was the Latin America Rocket Street Tournament. In first place for that was Ospoca Berta, which is Klaus, Sad, and Suko. And in second place, a lot easier to say, Moonrise, which was won by KNS Card and Yandy. Card used to be on Furia a couple seasons back now, but good to see him still at the top of his game, at least for this event here. He's also still competing at the top of Sam, so that's good. Armed the Rebels, which was a event ran by CJ and Shopify Rebellion, that organization. The EU, on the EU side, it was won by Team Vitality, which is for this upcoming season is Zen, Exotic, and Monkey Moon. Now, Monkey Moon and Exotic coming over from BDS. I'll talk a lot about rosters. I'll have this whole off-season rosters mania video coming out once rosters actually start locking and stuff, but for now we're just going to keep moving. And then in second place was Smokes, Toxic, and Oski. That was just their team name. It didn't have like an actual name apart from that because it's a 2v2 tournament, so there's 2 of them, 2 of the people that face, and then they change out every game too, so yeah. And then it was the Arm the Rebels NA event after that, which was won by Complexity of CRR, Diaz, and Raise Bull. And then in second place was my Space Station Gaming Boys, which nowadays is Frosty, Reveal, and Scribbles, the old Snowman roster. They got signed by SSG after SSG had to let their previous roster go, so sad to see those boys, LJ Hoxer and Chicago, leave, but we're ready to cheer on the new SSG roster, the old Snowman crew. So yeah, let's just keep these moving real quick ones. So Salt Mine 4 in EU was won by Nas, and I believe he is going to be signed by Ninjas in Pajamas. You can quote me on that in the comments again if it doesn't end up happening. And then in second place for that, for Salt Mine 4 EU, was Rawas of Team Falcons, like we went over earlier. And then last but not least was the 3v3 off-season tournament. That in NA, that was won by Mango, which is the roster of First Killer, LJ, and Chronic. And the fact that they have not been signed by an org is mind-blowing to me. They should be signed already. That's going to be a really tough team to compete for. They're going to be top 4, top 3 at least. So watch out for those boys. And then second place, the runner-up is NRG, which is now Beast Mode, Daniel, and Atomic. The old G2 roster got signed by NRG, and NRG looks to be a top contender once again. In EU, there wasn't too many of those like upper teams, like top 4 teams, top 8 teams competing in the event, but it was won by Rizix, Reese Fox, and Catalysm, which is Team RRC, which I now believe is RRG, but we'll get to that eventually. And then the runner-up for that was 100%, which is Acro, Luis P, and Rezi. In SSA, it was unfortunately won by Hey with Riz. That's what their team name was. It was Ivan, Karka, and Revezi, 3 EU players. So go back to your own region. And then the runner-up for that was the Limitless roster. I don't believe they were under the org for that. specific event because they weren't signed up under Limitless, but semantics. Obviously, snowy, to die for, and sweaty, the Limitless roster. They were the runner-ups. In Sam, it was Furia was the winner of that one, which is Drafinio, Yanks, and Lost. And then the runner-up for that was Team Secret, which is Mata, KV1, and Swift. So the two Sam 2024 RLCS World Championship team. So they're still at the top of their game in Sam. And moving right along to APAC, that was won by Kinotrope Gaming, which is Furlash, Realize, who is the original APAC GOAT, and Lunatic. And then the runner-up for that was a team of 3 rats, which is Ballerace, LCT, and Kevin. And whether those 3 stick together or Kevin goes a separate way and joins another team, I believe LCT and Ballerace are planning on sticking together no matter what. But we'll have to see what happens as the roster start locking for the upcoming season of RLCS. And then moving along to OCE, it was won by New Jeans. So New Jeans, they were just running every single tournament this offseason. Not easily, I might say, but they were running every tournament. That's obviously, like I mentioned earlier, the roster of Super Lucky, Amphis, and Kaka. And then the runner-ups for that was a team called Oi Oi, which is Misty, Fades, and Prompt. And then last but not least, the MENA off-season 3v3 tournament was won by Team Falcons, which Turk clears Rawas. And the runner-up for that was Geek Esports, which is Yazid, Oval, and F-Sol. Again, mispronunciation. If I'm mispronouncing anything, blast me in the comments for it. But that was all of the off-season events. I will be back soon for a complete roster mania extravaganza video. I got a whole bunch of stuff planned for that. I just need the rosters to actually solidify and lock before I can actually do it, because I might say something in that and then 2 minutes after I post that video, roster changed actually. It's now out of date. So we'll have to wait for that one. And then that's right, the RLCS Midwest Minutes is returning for the entirety of the 2025 season. I plan on doing it every single week. Just plan on every single Wednesday. I will be posting a new RLCS Midwest Minute unless all of the regionals are done, and then we'll take a couple weeks until the major, and then I'll recap the major, and then we'll do another off-season roster swaps about some of the more notable roster changes that happened. But yeah, that's been the RLCS Midwest Minutes for now. I know it's been a long minute, and I tried to go as fast as possible, but as you know, that never happens here. We have a thing called the Midwest Goodbye for a reason. You're just stuck here forever. But yeah, I hope it's been an enjoyable minute. I hope you make sure to like and subscribe to stick around for future RLCS Midwest Minutes. As always, make sure to keep her moving. Always watch out for them deer out there. It's getting a little hairy out now that it's getting more into winter. And tell your folks I says hi.